All right, let's go.
All right, go.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tartaria, Australia. We're back. Campbell, Purvis, we're back.
From our hiatus, yes, we've been
Yes.
off for a few weeks down at the farm, actually. That's why we missed a few. But yes, we're back. Yes, and good morning, good evening, if that's where you are. Oh, not just afternoon.
Oh, it's been good. It was a fucking good fortnight, everyone. Like, cheers to everyone who turned up, man. We met some excellent people. It's just, I can't explain the difference between watching us here and then actually coming and being physical. It's such a different vibe, and instantly, as soon as you get out of your camper van, trailer, caravan, car, whatever you manage to get yourself there in. It's like you're instantly family. It's the coolest vibe. I fucking love it. I stand by the idea that the only true truth I know on this realm is fucking campfires, Campbell. That's what I know.
Yeah,
That's it.
man.
That's a summary of my whole wisdom.
Campfires are great, and we had one every night. We had two fires going pretty much all day, every day, because it got a little bit chilly being in the middle of winter. But yeah, we had awesome people turn up and help us, and like we got a lot done. Like we transformed the whole place, so there will be a video on that coming up. Not in this show, but in the future when I do it. But yeah, it was great, wasn't it? And everyone jumped in and built and loved the experience and learnt
So
things. And
great. So great. All you end
yeah,
up doing is rocking up and then you get out of your thing and then you go to either one of the campfires that's operating where we're all gathered and you just have your first cup of tea and smoke and chill and get smoked by the fire and then you meet everyone and then you're in. And then you're just doing stuff from that point on. Easy, good stuff, fun stuff, your choice of stuff. And
mm,
then we all sort of ended up cooking together and drinking wine and just it rolled on. For us, it's 2.5 weeks of like dynamic hosting and socializing, I have to say. And I
yes.
feel thoroughly smoked out, Campbell. I feel like I got my
Yeah.
hit for the next 2 months of nature and campfires and community, and it was excellent. Pickled out my liver a little bit, but whatever. And yeah, I mean, I just had a fantastic time. And man, if you guys get the chance, really get the chance to do any one of these things in person with us, it's so much fun to meet the tribe, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, man,
It's the
it is.
point.
Yes, and of course, there's going to be another week, late August, and an event early September.
Well, I'm
Um,
not sure how that's rolling out, Mr. Purvis, yet.
oh,
I know
I thought we had a
we
green
might
light.
we yes
Okay,
yes no the event is going ahead, but
okay, the
but
event.
first I'm gonna focus our attention. Well, the event's going ahead, but I don't know if whether we should do a volunteer week like in
Before, yeah.
August or just expand the September.
Yeah,
I'm leaning
yeah.
towards expand on
Expanding
September.
September. Yeah, yeah. What date in September?
The actual event is the 5th to the 7th of
Yeah, yeah.
September.
I thought so,
It's the
yeah.
Jolly Swag Tour. Hang on, I'll put the little ad up. It's the Jolly Swag Tour.
Or have you
It's
got them?
tickets are available. Woohoo! On the internet. This is we've just lent straight into our community notice section. All right. Here we go. Community notices, everyone. We might as well start there. because this community's getting fucking active, man. We've got stuff going on all over the place. Loving it. The Jolly Swag Tour, September the 5th, the 6th, and 7th. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We chose those dates based on the full moon because moonlight really does help when you're out in the bush camping out. So, yeah, we've changed it to the full moon. And basically, what I suspect is going to happen and what we're encouraging is an organic unfolding, an organic moment in time where you bring it, man. It's you guys who bring it. So I'm saying if you guys have a chance, anyone in Australia, anyone anywhere, how bold and brave are you feeling? How far do you want to travel? To come and meet us. This is going to turn, this is a party. This is a Tartaria Australia festival party. It's not structured in a way that we're going to roll out, this speaker and roll out this workshop. It's just, it's going to be organic. It's going to be who turns up, who's made the effort, and what you bring, whether it be your music, your art, your market store, your food, your attitude, your consciousness, your DJing skills, your singing skills, your talking skills, anything. It's going to be dependent on our community turning up, and I fucking love that. It's like a wild biodiversity garden,
Mm.
Campbell. You don't
Yeah.
know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so it's going to be Friday night till Sunday. There will be some scheduled stuff. There will be people talking. There will be a few sort of stalls and like mini courses going on. But and we've got some musicians. But yeah, just bring your stuff, bring your swag, right? Get your swag on and bring it to the Jolly Swag Tour. You know, if you play an instrument, if you do art, whatever. If you've got a business or something you're trying to build, bring a table and some info and set it up and talk to people. It's going to be like a mini festival, I guess, but
Yeah.
there definitely will be some structured things, some talks, some
Campbell's like, there's
movies at
structure.
night
I
time.
promise you there's structure. I'm
There is
like,
some structure. It's not
I'm
just the
like,
hippie camp.
well, why can't it be just it's a Tartarian Australian camp? It's like
Yes,
a school camp.
yes, it's like it's
But what will
yeah.
happen for you guys if you make the effort to come, and please make the effort to come, if we can just meet once together in the bush, I will be so satisfied with that. And I can tell you, everyone who's turned up so far, it wasn't the activities, it was just the general being around a campfire together, being under the stars. It was having an experience. It's literally an adventure. It was having an adventure together. And that's
Mm,
the whole point of the event is to have an adventure together. However that turns out, whatever that looks like, I'm excited because I know everyone would just fucking bring it.
yes, yes, and the conversation, of course. Yes, so obviously you do have to bring a sleeping vessel, whether that be a tent or a
Yeah.
caravan or a car or whatever, because we don't have accommodation there. It's a farm. Or you just bring your swag, your jolly swag. Um,
Or you can buy a Jolly Swag ticket from as you sign up to the event, and we will provide you with all those things if you want to fly in.
mm,
We'll organize so it's all there waiting for you, and you can turn up. You'll get a double swag, you'll get a head torch and a chair, and everyone has to bring their own chairs.
yes,
That's right. Everyone has to bring their chairs. You got to, which isn't hard, is bring your own camp
just chuck a,
chair.
chuck a
You have
chair
to,
in.
there will
Mm,
be an operating bar. There will be a bar. And, but of course, you are also very warmly invited to bring whatever you need or want or would enjoy sharing with people. We've had some beautiful homemade things shared with the group, which I just loved. Everyone
mhm.
had something beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah, there's already been ideas implemented, right? That people have brought along, turn up, go, oh, what about this? And we go, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, man.
Do it.
Mm.
So yeah, it's been fun. So come and join us for more fun.
And you know why it's so, so
Yeah.
super important, why this sort of shit is so, so super important now is because we're moving into unity consciousness, guys. Like without us taking actual actions to actually connect in, unified as a community past this friggin' AI screen, like we're missing the point. And like if we've got a moment in time where we can offer a space with all of these things we do, then God, get involved because it's so heart fulfilling. It's so regenerating. It is so regenerating. And we heard the same story over and over again. It was the same story. It's our
Yeah, yeah,
story.
yeah.
Fringe
Same story.
dwellers
Yeah,
lost their friends and family.
no one to talk
Communities
to.
dwindled. Yep, most of their contacts online now. It's just everything's feeling very isolating still. And and also people are feeling pretty like blahed out by what's going on in the realm and all the all the things we all know about. Like it's just, we've all got the same story. So it's
Mm,
so nice to come together and what it does, like when we come together, is it magnifies our energetic field, right? And
mm,
it must be so important, Cam, because they have literally spent billions of dollars trying to keep us all separate. Like they literally spend all their budget money and warmongering to keep the human race literally separated. So it must be like the nuclear bomb of activation when
mm,
we gather and we expand our energetic field because the human race, by nature, I believe, is telepathic.
mm.
We're wiring and firing together. And that's their
Well,
biggest thing,
we're
their
definitely
biggest
we're
issue.
definitely energy, right? We are energy. We know this. We're frequency, and this is what builds, yeah, when we're together. So, yeah, so definitely be a rebel, man. Be a real rebel. Go out and communicate with real people. That's the real rebellion, and especially with all this AI stuff, all this AI talk, all this other, WW3 weirdness and crap going on.
WW3 weirdness. Now, Campbell, that's got to be a fucking t-shirt right there. WW3 weirdness. What a
Yeah,
meme.
what a meme. Yeah, man.
Fuck.
They've got to keep pushing the fear, right? So just ignore it because that's the other thing, right? When you're on the farm, you recharge because you don't you there's no one's on their computers, no
No.
internet. I mean, there is out there, but we're not doing that. We're just out of that whole cycle, and
Yep.
you'll realize it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Nothing's changing. You're just having fun, and then you go back, and the world's still crazy like it was when you left. Like,
Yep.
so yeah, get out and get
But
away.
you, on the other hand, have been smoked. And that's the key, the truth, the
Smoking
one truth.
ceremony.
You
Yeah,
get
man.
smoked and smoked and smoked in all ways. And you get moonlighted and moonlighted and moonlighted. And you get misted and misted and misted. And you get
Bare feet,
bird
bare
calls and
feet.
bird calls. And you get, yeah, bare feet and you get ground and ground and ground. Like it's just a
Mm,
high impact 3 days of being in nature with the best people in Australia. Can I just say? Every single freaking person we ever meet through Tartaria Australia is excellent. And I am so happy about that because I've always made it my mission, Cam, to
mm.
gather masters
Yeah,
around me. I
yeah.
love masterful human beings. So every opportunity we get to meet everyone, fuck yes. So be
Mm.
brave. Be
Yes,
bold. Sign up for an
yes,
adventure. It's $150 for the 3 days, everything, all that. It's all on the website. But just like do it. It's nothing. Get yourself to the farm, have an adventure in 2025 because
yeah.
we don't know. We don't know when this world's going to shut us all down again. We don't know when we're going to be put into any sort of, you know, shutdown mode again. Like we got to grab these opportunities, guys. If one chance
Mm.
to meet everyone in the bush, in nature, just to be in nature. And that is the whole freaking point. Like, this is it. So there it is.
Yes.
September.
Link
And by the
below.
way, what else is happening in September?
TartariaAustralia.com.
What is also excellently happening on in September?
In September, oh, it's well, yes, of course, it is the birthday of Miss
Yes,
Jones.
it's my birthday. Can you believe it? How's the timing? I can't believe it. This is literally a bucket list of mine to have an event with my team and my tribe all around me at our farm. Like it's just so yeah, it's my birthday weekend.
All
So
right,
that's another,
geez.
which
I
must
guess
mean you're going
that
to have
means
to organize.
I'm a cake. I know. It's
Yeah,
just
oh my
dawned on me.
God, pressure on Campbell. He's gonna have
Uh,
Cara.
but
We
I
need
know, yeah,
Cara.
I know someone I can call. It's okay.
Cara. All right, so Jolly Swag Talk. Be bold, everyone. Let's go on an adventure. It's entirely up to you. You play this game or not, it's an adventure. We'll be in nature for
Yes,
3 days. And
yes.
I really encourage you all just to make the leap.
Make
Make the
believe.
leap. All
Yes.
right,
To a
so what
new
else is
world.
happening?
Oh,
This
what
is
else
just
is
like
happening? Wow.
one.
That way. Gosh.
All right, let's go.
Everything's backwards on the screen. Yeah, we're going to be live in Melania on the 19th of July next month,
Yep.
from 9 to 5. So tickets selling fast. Get one. There's going to be some cool people up here. I've done some interviews with Paula from Melbourne. People might have seen them. She's going to be there. She told me today. Nikki, who's done some work with Dale from the on the temple, the shrine in Melbourne. She's going to be there. And obviously lots of other cool people as well. So yes, come up to Mullaney,
All
our new home, adopted hometown. And
right, so and sorry. Continue, Cam.
Okay, now you do it, Kelly.
No, no, go for it. Finish, my friend.
And it is the We Have Been Invaded tour, where we are going to talk about the invaders and answer the question, who are they? Who is
Yeah, who are
this
they?
they? Who
Who
are
are
they?
they? And Cam was very nervous because obviously it requires a lot of complicated language. Like, I've got to be censored, basically. I've got to
Oh, yes,
try.
yes, I'm nervous
I've got
about
to
this.
try. So, of
Yes.
course, that would make him very nervous because I don't know if I'm capable of it, but the point is, this is a very unique show for Cam and I. This is probably the first time we've done something like this where we've actually homed in on a topic within the consciousness of our movement. And we're going to spend all day and we are going to go through what we believe our theory is on when this all started, when this invasion started, who are the invaders, how it's brought itself through our history, all the way through this very obscured timeline that we have, which cannot be relied on at all. Looking at that, obviously, and then taking into the current day how that all links to current day events. And also, of course, because we are Tartaria Australia, we can't leave on a bad note, Campbell. So we will be leaving on a what we feel like I feel like we've had some deep insights on our role and purpose going through working this show out, and I'm really excited to present them to everyone at this event. I think you will all find it an extremely satisfying event. It's going to be full audio visual the whole day, and Campbell and I on stage speaking the whole day. So of course you get your breaks and you get your chicken dance and you get your lunch and we're going to have there will be a social afterwards, whether it be at the local pub behind us
Well,
or at the venue
at the
itself.
venue itself,
Yep,
maybe,
I'll
yeah.
confirm that. So we can stay and do our normal fucking thing, which is usually like drinking wine and finding somewhere to smoke and laughing till midnight. So basically, consider this for the Tartarian Australian community of Sunshine Coast and Brisbane and the Gold Coast and right up to Rockhampton and Gympie and all the way down and everywhere else you are. But come, this is our 2025 like Tartarian Australia party for our community in Queensland. So we'd love to see you all there again. I encourage you to make the effort because it's always less about the information and always about the gathering of the souls. So if you're
Yes.
in our area or anywhere within an 8 hour realm of our area, make the fucking effort. Come. It's on the 19th of July. And I'm excited. Come and gauge us. Come and see how we do with this sort of show. Like it's a
Yes.
much more like David Icke style than we've ever
Bring
done
your
before.
scorecards.
Yeah, you can come and get
Yes.
grade our wisdom. Come and
Yes.
grade us.
And
But
Mulaney's on the Sunshine Coast, if you don't know,
Sunshine
just,
Coast.
just north of Brisbane. And
Yep.
it's going to be a good show as well. But you will get to meet people. But we think we've weaved together quite a good story that you'll, and of course, it all ties in with Tartaria, Old World, cycles, resets, all this kind of stuff. So come along. We'd love to
Yeah.
see you.
Yep, very excited. Tickets for sale on the website. And guys, if you are in or around the area by 8 hours or so, or just want to, oh, I should say, if you want to fly in from anywhere else in Australia to see the show, we're conveniently located, Campbell. So you can go straight to Brisbane Airport. This is rare for us. You go straight
Yeah.
to Brisbane Airport. And there's a train that will bring you up to Landsborough, which is at the base of the mountain that Mulaney's on top of. And it's literally a 12-minute drive. So it'll be very easy to, get yourself to the event. And of course, we can help with that sort of support and carpooling
Yep.
and all that stuff.
And there's a pub
Um,
here, there's campgrounds, there's lots of other
yep.
accommodation around. So you will be able to find somewhere to stay.
Have you noticed,
Or just
guys, that
bring your
we're starting to,
swag and chuck it on the footpath.
yeah, yeah, sure. You'll probably make money. You'll probably
Yeah,
be
as long as you got a guitar and you can kind of half sing, that's cool. You
Oh,
know.
Mulaney's so kind.
I know,
There's
man.
a
We've
sort
got
of
buskers
town
on
where
the
wage,
street. It's so
yeah.
cool. I love that.
So if you did end up sleeping in your swag on the sidewalk, you'd probably make some money. They'd probably
Yeah.
think you needed support and just
Probably
throw
get a
money at
blanket
you.
or two thrown on you.
Um, but you know what we're sort of, I don't know if you guys have understood the vibe here, what we're sort of aiming at here, which is, I mean, like flashback to one of our original shows, which I know caught the imaginations of almost all of us, which was the topic of the Crystal City in the desert, right? Now it's interesting because when you look at what a crystal city looks like, it actually links back to the Elation time period where the structures were crystalline. So it's a very interesting one. Now, Campbell and I only paused on that topic because we realized that leading a group of people into the Australian outback who are excited to see a crystal city, but necessarily not versed at outback traveling, it could have been potentially not the most wisest idea we've ever had,
Hazardous.
Campbell.
Yes.
But we are slowly building up our community to be on the road with us, you see. So to get yourself out to the farm, you're going to be doing that in vehicles. You're camping out for 3 nights. You're self-sufficient. You're going to bring, all the things that you need, like water, for example, and the stuff that you need to be happy and comfortable. And of course, if you're planning to travel to Mullaney, same thing. So every time we get you guys like out and encouraging you to buy your camper vans and your caravans or your gypsy vans or your utes or whatever the hell it is you are inspired by. Yeah, this is all leading us up to being able to confidently, as a community, actually trek out into the desert and see if we can actually work with this idea of the Crystal City. So that's why we keep like trying to push the camping and the showgrounds and the
Mm.
farm and whatnot.
Yep. Yep. And, to build the community, to start building the new world, really, because in the end, that's what we need to do. Focus on what we want, dream, big
Yeah,
conversations.
because Cam, because at the end of the day, we're in a situation now, like we are all as a community situation now, where everyone's feeling a little bit sort of, the word's probably not powerless, but at least like not powerfully able to step into a lot of people's dreams and ambitions, right? Like, because we're still acting in this sort of separate manner, and it's hard because that's the situation we've literally been placed in. But I tell you what, guys, like there is power in community and there's power in us coming together. And when you actually make the effort to come together and meet the other people, there's power and resources in that sort of space, So we don't, many of us have a lot, but we all have something and a little. And eventually, it's going to make sense to us as a community how we're going to utilize that and how we're going to build on that and start to really powerfully make some wicked new ideas and decisions moving forward so that the next 50 years, guys, it's fucking excellent and
Mm.
exciting. And we're engaging in things together. And it's mad stuff and wild stuff and stuff of our imaginations and also, you know, creation type stuff and wealth, all this stuff that like you've got to say to yourself, what do I want to be doing over the next 50 years or give or take of my time living through this change? What do I want to do? You know?
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah. Get
take
involved.
get involved. Get
Get
involved, take
involved.
opportunities, meet everyone and see where it leads you. Because I promise you, as Campbell I drive this forward, we are very empowered with the
Mm.
possibilities and potentials for us as a community, not as
True.
us as individuals.
And also, what we have found through meeting all these amazing people is that a lot of you are single out there. So you might meet someone.
It's a true fact.
They're our people. They're unjabberwockied. So yeah,
It's a common theme.
there you
It's a
go.
common
Another
theme out
carrot
there,
for
my
you.
friends.
Mm,
Yep. There's a bit of romance necessary in our little community, and we are definitely going to. At one of the events we have decided on for the Jolly Swag Tour is speed dating slash singles night, where we will set up some fun spaces and host some fun gatherings so that, you guys can have some fun again around the topic of romance. And it's true. It's absolutely fucking true, man. Like you cannot just go into a dating site anymore because, you can't ask that question. And
mm.
that question is like a big one, right? Oh, and on that topic, Campbell.
All right, here we go. Straight into the show.
Oh, get
Finally. We may
fucked.
be back with more things later, but here we go.
Well, I'm not quite because I'm
Exactly, I
going,
know. So
but
let's get into
But
some content.
can get fucked. I have to tell you this, right? I'm like,
Yes.
I cannot believe I haven't thought about this. Guys, this is a problem. And I don't know what your thoughts are, but I'm putting it out to the universe that someone in our community has some smart concepts of this, ideas on this. It dawned on me the other day that we, as not, if we're in an emergency situation and require a blood transfusion or require any sort of intervention by the medical blood bank, we cannot actually escape from the. And what's worse is that they actually put it into a like a pool So, like, you may actually, if we're in that situation right now, and I was in a car crash and needed transfusion, like ASAP, they would literally draw from a pool of potentially thousands of friggin' blood. I cannot believe I hadn't thought about this. And then I was like,
Mm.
what are our options? Like, what would you do? Would you, Campbell, what would you do in that situation? Would you take it or would you choose to to die? Like,
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
question I'm
if
asking.
it's a bad accident, you might not have the choice, right? If you're
Fuck.
close to unaliving, and this is the
Wow.
thing, like what? But I mean, even just in
That's
normal, if you
crazy,
do have
man.
a decision, like what do you do? I mean, even just the fact that it's mixed.
Yep.
I mean, even if it was unjabbed and mixed, I mean, still, it's like, that's still
Whoa.
going to cause turmoil in your body, man.
Oh my
Imagine, like,
God.
it's
So,
crazy they do that. Like,
yep.
because in the past, I'm pretty sure it used to be singular and you could definitely get your family to donate, right? If you
Right.
needed it, but not anymore.
Nah, not
You
anymore.
can't,
So,
you can't even, yeah, don't go in and say, no, we've got our own blood, we'll donate. You
yep.
can't do that.
Yep.
It's,
Mm. And definitely, even if it's not an emergency, even if it's not an emergency and there's plenty of time, like my partner's mother is having, was going to have a heart operation. And so, like, we ran the hospital to see if we could use our blood for the operation, and they said no. And that was months of warning, and still it was a no. So they have deemed all blood to be safe, and their language they're using on the websites is all about equality,
oh God.
that
You
it's
can get
fair
blood
and
from all
equal.
different types of
Yeah.
races and genders and
Whoa.
ooh,
That's
no
pretty, like,
discrimination here.
we freak
God.
out about eating, say, home brand mints at the supermarket, where you're potentially eating 1,000 different animals and a
Yep.
thousand different bacterias in that, because this is all minced together from all over the place, but probably not, like, most likely not Australian, all coming in, all the rot. So it would be the same concept with this. And I just find that the freakiest concept that I'd never thought about. So that's the thing, guys. So I'm putting it out there to see what you guys think. And if anyone has some excellent thoughts on that, like, put them in the comments, hand them over, put them in the newspaper. Hello, Tartaria
In
Australia
the
newspaper.
newspaper,
And
and
just
well done
another
as well,
thing,
by the way, for saying,
thank you, Campbell.
Yes, I noticed.
Of course, we've harped on about this a little bit, but I just want to remind everyone that this is the month. This is the month to contribute. It's all about contributing to these things. It's up to you guys. Get involved, make it excellent, make it the coolest thing we've ever seen so that we all enjoy it, all enjoy reading it and have the greatest time with it. Like, let's give this a shot, a real shot. So I'm calling out for submissions. You can submit on the website, any type of content, and it doesn't have to be fucking journalism. I'm so happy if you want to submit some photos with a little comment or write anything. Like, I'm not going to edit your work. It's going in as your voice. And just like, as far as the singles are concerned, like, show yourself.
Oh, the
Show
singles, yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah.
But
If you
not just the
want
singles, like, stand up, people.
to, yeah, yeah,
Show
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. If you want to, let the world know what you're doing, just because you want to, or because you have something you want to promote or build, then do that. If you want to send us a story about how you're single and you don't want to be, do that.
Yep.
And if we start getting a lot of that kind of stuff, then we can do classifieds, whatever they're called. But yeah, also, whatever, right? Art, poetry, thoughts on whatever, conspiracy ideas you've got or theories, whatever it is, just let the world know what you're doing. Any ideas for the future, things that you want seen done, whatever, right? Just anything that's interesting to you will be interesting to other people. So get it done and send it in.
Consider it a campfire in print. That's essentially what it is. It's the campfire in print. So, yes, once again, over to you guys. It's up to you guys. But, like, this is the time. We're in such a mucky timeline right now that this is the time you're choosing which path. And I know everyone's made their choice, but it's
Mm.
kind of like a daily choice. You got to keep daily choosing to be seen, to stand up, to show yourself, to stop hiding, because hiding and not and being too lazy to contribute and hiding yourself and being too shy or not thinking you have anything to give or not being worthy of that, all that is their path. All of that is the shit they've put into our brains, where our lives change when we like make contribution, where we
Mm,
show ourselves, where we're being seen, where we like stand as beacons of light in whatever capacity. Like that is so important. So this is yet another opportunity to do exactly that. So that's it. We're
yeah.
covering everything.
No, expose yourself to the world's people. And you too can sit like Kelly here with your joint and your cup of tea in front of the fireplace and read the Tartaria Australian news.
That's right.
So send it
Yes.
in. You'll find all these links are on tartariaaustralia.com, which we'll leave below. Just scroll down and you'll find these that we're talking about, plus many other interesting little things
Okay.
and
This
concepts.
this has to be the longest info commercial that we've ever done, but fucking hell,
But
this channel
wait,
should be
there's
about all of
more.
this. There is more. There's actually one more. So buckle in, my friends. There's one more. So, I mean, of course, I've got to talk about this. The Get Your Shit Together hour is still going on strong. We're still meeting every single morning, and it's getting fucking hard because it's dark and it's cold, and we're still doing it. 6:30, it's 6:30 any time zone. So we can't command the universes that are in the Americas or in the European realm. It's just up to you guys once again. If you want to do it at 6:30 at sunrise in your location of the world, then just sign up and do it. And who knows? By you starting it, other people might join you. But the point is, this is a universal. That's nice. Let's make it universal. A
Universal. Anyone
universal
can join.
practice.
Yeah, man.
Anyone.
Any
Wouldn't that be
entity.
cool? Wouldn't that
Yeah.
cool if we opened up the Zoom one day and there was like an extraterrestrial from
Yeah.
past the ice wall just sitting there with, I'd love that.
With a joint and tea. Yeah, man.
Anyway, look, it's happening. We've been doing it. Has it improved our lives? Can't tell you yet. I've had my ups and downs, but you tell you what, just the discipline of it and like making it a focus in the morning, it really does keep me like, because I start the day now as soon as it finishes, which is 7:30 a.m. So it's a really good for me personally. It's been really good to get my thoughts organized for the day, to like know what I'm inspired to do that day. It's just very it's I find it helpful housekeeping for my day.
Mm. Yeah, and it gives you something to do, right? Lets you know where you're going, gives you a bit of direction through this crazy world, right? You can sort of focus
Yeah.
on what it is you're actually trying to achieve, and not, there's no speaking or anything. It's just basically we play some videos, so you can journal, you can write stuff, you can visualize, and there's a meditation in there. And yeah, you don't have to come every day, if you want to come once a week or twice or whatever, right? It's up to you. So come and check it out. And you can download the videos once you join. So if you are in another part of the world, you can watch them at whatever time you want. And we do have a WhatsApp group that you can join. So if you are somewhere else, you can hopefully hook up with other people in your area, right? And maybe do it together. So that's something that we want to see you doing because obviously, like Kelly said, we can only do it at 6:30 our time. But come
Yeah.
and join us. Get your shit together. Come on.
Yes, come and get your
No, you
shit
have
together,
to.
everyone.
Come
Like,
on.
I just
We
assume that
admitted it.
I just make the assumption that whatever I'm going through, you're all going through. That's just like my assumption and the premise of everything we choose to do here. All right. So, do we actually have anything to talk about today, Campbell?
Wow. Yes. The
Are
world
you
is
nervous,
crazy.
guys? Like, damn, we've sat here this whole time and they haven't even said
There's
anything. There's
nothing.
all these
It was a
requests for
scam.
action.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
all this community building. I can't stand it.
Yes. Well, the
Uh,
world's gone crazy, obviously, with a bit of
oh,
anti-community building. Um, Obviously, the
all right.
Don was out
Yep.
there, kind of, yeah, I think shocked everyone, jumping so quick and jumping in after he said he probably wouldn't, and obviously for the small hat country. So that's all interesting. And it might all be to build, there's all this talk about building the third temple, right? And they've already got the red heifers that they need to sacrifice because that's what it's all about, right? But basically, it's a big show, man. This thing's been going on. for years. There's videos going back to 2001 of the news saying Iran is just 2 months away from developing nuclear weapons. And of course, Iraq, right? Weapons of mass destruction. I think
Yep.
you're seeing a playbook played over and over.
Ah, fucking new. I do not believe there are nuclear weapons. I have never believed there are nuclear weapons. What? I do you believe there are nuclear weapons, Campbell? I just do
No,
not
no,
think
no,
so.
no. You look at no. I mean, there's proof that there's not. I mean, they say Nagasaki and Hiroshima was
Firebombing.
atom bombs, but
Mm,
I mean, they were still supposed to give out radiation and all this. But basically, the destruction there is the same as we see in America in the 1860s, right? With the Civil War cities that apparently got burned and cannon fire. But people were living back in Nagasaki and
yeah. Straight
Hiroshima
away.
within weeks. Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
we've got no, sorry, what is it? In Russia. Um, I've forgotten. I'll remember. Fukushima, remember Japan was going to kill
Chernobyl. Chernobyl
Chernobyl. Chernobyl is now like this massive wildlife like refuge.
reserve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really a it's yeah, it was supposed to be dead for I mean, and they were saying like
Yep.
10,000 years and stuff.
Yep.
It's thriving, man.
And the
It's the fact that
dogs.
people have moved in there because it's just this amazing forest.
And there's this beautiful new species of dog that's come out of it, all the pets that got left behind, and
Yeah,
they're
right.
so healthy and happy and thriving. No signs of, tumors or death or cancer, but and then yeah, Fukushima, like I don't know, like I just don't
Real.
believe we have the technology. I just
Mm.
don't believe it. I just
Well,
don't
it's
think we
supposed to
do.
be, yeah, splitting the nucleus of an atom. Like, come on. Like,
And I don't think even if we did have the technology, I don't think we would be, I don't think we're alone in this experience of ours. And I do not think it would be enabled. I think it would be blocked and stopped as if we have any sense of any sort of other consciousness that's working from outer realms in our favor or from higher realms in our favor, there is no way that there would be a nuclear war. Like,
mm.
what? If there's someone out there
There's,
creating crop circles, they're just gonna sit back and watch like some fucking
there's dudes with
mm,
the planks. Yeah, yeah.
some invaders blow. I just don't think so, Cam. I don't,
Yeah,
and I
no.
just, I yeah,
There's
and I
just no
there's this
proof, and it's just too big a fear factor. Like, remember in the 80s, all those Day After Tomorrow and all
yeah,
those
it's
really
all the
shocking
movies.
movies, man, that they showed to all the children, by the way. But that's okay,
Yep.
kids, because you can always just tuck and roll,
And
right?
any evidence we've ever seen of a nuclear bomb has been like in a Hollywood military studio.
Yeah.
It's been them blowing up little towns, and it's like
Yes, that's a
it's a
good,
moon
yeah.
landing story. It's the same thing. It's just been we've never seen one in reality. I remember the whole Cold War, and they were getting all the kids to go under their desks, and they act out all the theater. They use all the psychological programming, but like, there's never any evidence at all of their
No,
existence. And I'm sorry, I just
it's
cannot
just like
believe.
space, right? Like,
Exactly.
it exists in the movie world and in your TV, but nowhere else.
I mean,
Like,
just say no to that one. I mean, how dumb. Would
just
we
say
ever
no.
really just say no? Because would you ever really believe that you're in a realm that's got
I,
nuclear bombs attached to the invaders of every nation to go off whenever they just feel like pressing? Like, could you really even conceptualize that we're in that situation? I'm sorry, I refuse that one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, they all look crazy, all these people, but they're all just, yeah, puppets doing what they're told. I mean, and this is the thing, everything we've seen about what's gone on recently has also been on the news, right? So I'm not saying it's not going on, but I'm just saying that we shouldn't believe fully exactly what's happening. I saw one report and this guy was in, he's like, oh, there's bombs coming in, there's all these things in the sky. And he's like, oh, apparently it's getting close. We have to move. And they're in an apartment block, and then he comes back, he's like, okay, I've put the crew inside, like on the, 20th floor of an apartment block where there's like that's not safety, it's just all it just does I've seen too much of the scripting
Yeah, I can oath.
to believe
And
it all.
I'm just highlighting this documentary series for anyone who hasn't seen it. Very relevant to what's going playing out today. extraordinary, mind-boggling, amazing, traumatic, deeply
Yeah.
fucking traumatic.
Yeah.
It's deeply full on. And
It
it's the
is.
most
Yeah.
extraordinary thing. I mean, you guys, we think that we've got through all the programming, but then like you watch something like this. I mean, I'm telling you, it was mind-blowing. It
It,
is mind-blowing.
it is, but
And
it is full on. Definitely do not watch this with children around. There's some
yeah,
pretty horrific stuff, but that's what's also what is mind blowing is the mindset of some of the beings down here, shall we say?
you really get a handle on, on what's truly happening. And, yes, it is really traumatic to watch. Yes, you have to face it. It's kind of at the level where you first started realizing about the children and that whole like terrible, terrible, what would you even
Yes,
call it,
trafficking in,
thing
yes,
that
thing.
happens on this realm, right? It's
Mm,
the same sort of level. The images that are shown and the videos that are shown, they're for the most part like historical and actual historical. So yeah, anyway, it's only on Rumble. I would highly recommend if you haven't already to see it. And if you did start it, it's 13 parts. So it's a bit of a process. They're an hour and a bit long. If you did start it and didn't finish it, now would be the time to, if you're inclined, of course, you could might
yes.
decide it's not what you need to know. But as far as absolutely getting rid of any single last remnant, last fraction of doubt or confusion or any sort of alignment with World War I and World War II and what actually happened, it is fucking mind blowing.
Yeah, it
So
is,
yeah. Mm.
but also
Because I mean,
disturbing.
it's yeah, and you can really see what our consciousness is here to do. Like you can really
Yes.
see it.
Yes.
If if you don't come out of that documentary series feeling like you've got a fucking duty as an elder to stand aligned so powerfully in your high light love consciousness, man, nothing's going to do it. You'll come out of that just knowing you have a role, a
Yeah, man.
big fat role.
We're here to big Saturday roll. We're here to,
Yeah.
yeah, do a job, right? To stop something. Well, most of us got that feeling that we're here for a reason.
Yeah.
And now we see
Yeah.
the evil that goes on, and yeah, yeah,
Mm.
the whole exopolitics thing, the whole game they show us, you'll just see how crap it is. And it's got
Mm.
nothing at all to do with what the media tells us, which is exactly what will be going on right now, right?
But be
Um,
brave.
but
Be
be brave.
brave. Be brave when you watch it. And I just feel like what you should probably do it now while the world isn't having to deal with maybe being exposed to this as a whole. I don't know if this is going to actually come out and actually be part of disclosure or part of the whole world finding out. I mean, I cannot imagine what would happen to the world's consciousness if they all watch this series, and because it's such a stronghold of programming, it's just so strong, you know
Mm,
fuck. So I think get it out of the way now. Get out of the way. Get it all in your head
all right.
and heal and heal.
Heal. Move forward. Come and join us, our events. Meet your people. Start moving forward.
All right, so sorry I interrupted
So,
you with that very traumatic
I
documentary.
know. Now
Carry on, Gumble.
you have to raise the frequency again now. Jeez,
mm,
what have you done?
mm.
Um, yeah, well, one thing that we were talking about a while ago was the Mandela effect.
Yep, one of our
Um,
favorite
the
topics.
Mandela effect, yeah. So it's still going on. Actually, I've got a personal one. I mean, did I tell you, like my name doesn't have a P in it, right?
Yep.
And obviously I've had ID and everything all my life, but I had to get my birth certificate a few years back to get my passport, and my birth certificate had a P in it.
Oh, really?
Didn't I tell
That's
you this?
fucking weird.
So yeah, and I was
That's
just like,
weird, man.
what? I was just like, yeah, how could was that just a misprint or something? But then I was talking to someone the other day, and she said, oh, and I told her, she said, oh yeah, well we see that happen a lot
The
with
Mandela effect.
with certain people, but is that a Mandela effect? Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
that's a trip. Have you asked your parents what your
no,
actual name
no.
is?
I've got to write them. I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but it was just sort of came up again the other day. But I'll have to. Because
That
there's a
is fucking weird.
reason. Yeah, yeah, because like there's definitely no P, and they would have, put that in at the original birth certificate, right? Because
Yes.
there was a
Yeah.
big thing because Dad didn't
That's
want a
cool,
son
man.
with
That
Camp in his
essentially,
name.
so that means that potentially you don't have a legal birth
Well,
certificate.
yes, well, that's the way I look
Well,
at
that's
it.
kind
So,
of cool.
so I've got, yeah, there's exactly right. So I'm not in the system, man. I'm out. So I've Mandelaed myself into a new timeline.
Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. How's it looking? How's it looking, this new timeline,
It's
Cam?
getting
What's
there.
going on in there?
Yeah, been getting my shit together every morning, so that's going well. Going to Amsterdam, much to Kelly's dismay, like getting back right before the live event. But it wasn't. It just happened that way. So yeah, anyone want to come say hi in Amsterdam? Let me know. But yeah, the Mandela effect. So we think that the Mandela effect, from our perspective, we're remembering the past as it was, right? And everyone else who remembers what we see as new, we're thinking, they're whatever
On
their
a new timeline.
ethnicities on a new timeline, something like this. Yeah, yeah, something's happened. But we're the
That we're
original.
assuming that their memories have been changed.
Yes, and that ours are the
Yes,
original memories.
yes.
Yes. But what if that's wrong? If things are changing and frequencies are rising and we're seeing all this change all over the place, right? Well, then it's us that's changing, right? It's us that's going up in frequency. So that would sort of make you think that it's us that change, which means that our memories will be changing because we're jumping into different timelines, higher timelines. So from that perspective, the Mandela effect could be that what we see as wrong, what we don't remember, is the original timeline, but that's a lower vibration timeline. So we have moved up, and because of that, we now are in a different timeline. Because when things change, they change for all past, present, and future. It means all of our memories change, and we see the new timeline, and other people we interact with don't because they're still on a lower vibration. So that's the new theory
Well,
of
that's a trip, Cam, because like
Mandela's.
what you're saying, because that's a trip. What you're saying is, Luke, I am your father, actually is the new version of Star Wars, and that we remembering the new version, which is trippy because it means that we've remembered it, it's acting like that new version has been in our lives forever. So if Luke, I am your father is the new version on Star Wars that we've generated through the Mandela effect and us being present to it, then it means that we've got evidence that our memories from this whole life have changed because we remember Luke, I am your father, like for the last, since it was produced in the 70s, or
Mm,
Queen's, we are the champion of the world.
yeah.
Like, if that's the new version of Queen, we've just fucking improved it.
Mm,
And every single Mandela effect that we have noticed is an improvement on the if your theory is right, on the original lower realm memory. Is it not? Of
well,
course, Star Wars with I Am Your Father or Beam Me Up Scotty from Star Trek. They're improvements. They're good improvements.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it takes a while to wrap your head around it because
Yeah.
because what we see as the old is the new, so it's flipped around. So yeah, yeah, beat me up, Scotty. Yeah, is much better than not beat me up, Scotty.
Yeah, and
Clearly,
Mirror Mirror on the Wall, who's the
yeah.
fairest of them all, is a much better version than their
C
awkward
C3PO, right? Being all
all
gold.
gold.
Yeah, much better. Totally, man. Like the sword in the stone, actually being in a stone and not an anvil. Much better.
Much better. So
Yeah.
it's interesting then from that perspective, because that means we've got evidence that this thing called our perception of reality is instantly and ultimately changed through all time and space. So if we're truly remembering Queen, I am the champions of the world as a memory, we've had that in our heads now. We consciously think we've had that memory in our heads now for the last 30 years. So that's a trip. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
take it as reversing it, that's a trip, right? How
Yeah.
how it has infiltrated our 30 years of memories. And what the feck are memories? And why do we have so few of them, Cam?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, totally. Like, yeah, we don't have enough memory. So is this another sign that we've been that reality is not what we're told, right? That we're jumping, that we're going up in timelines when we go up in frequency and awareness, really, I guess, right? Making our field bigger. But I mean, it's good. Like, but if you think that that's changing things retrospectively, right? Like, that means that all anything can be healed, right?
Oh, that's a nice thought,
You
Mr.
know, anything like
Purpose.
physical, emotional, spiritual
Yeah.
wounds, you can change them
Yeah.
retrospectively. So it's like they never happened. And I got
Which is
onto
the
this
principle
thought.
of quantum
I was
quantum
going to,
healing.
yeah, Dr. Joe Dispenza does it, and he this is what he does. He gets you into the space, and it's all quantumy stuff. But people heal, and it's like Jesus, I guess, right? Miracles. How does that happen? Is it because literally they've changed timeline, it's changed all their past and brought them back to this time, and they never actually had that injury as from then, that from that moment? Is that how miracles work?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's an interesting concept, going backwards, and that we're actually the ones that have changed. That
Mm.
makes more sense. From the perspective of frequency, we are the ones that have changed. So it would make sense that reality for us has changed, not the reality around us for other people, but for us. And it's true to say that those who I mean, I can't, but we can't validate that everyone in the, say, this community has experienced or believes in the Manila. We can't, I don't know. I mean, that's in my experience
I would
and
think
Cam's
so, but yeah.
experience. I'm assuming most of you like remember or have the new memories from this conversation, have the new memories.
Yes, yes.
I'm assuming. Yeah. So it's interesting then because the ones that aren't having those memories, they've been a bit bombarded by, like stuff that's messed with their, frequency channels, their frequency output, basically.
Mm.
So for the ones who have like kept their frequency output sort of thriving and vital and clean and clear and strong, yeah, I would say it makes sense that we're the ones that have changed. Therefore, we're the ones that are seeing a changed perception of reality.
Yeah, well, that's interesting too about the Jabberwocky people. Maybe as we grow and because as we grow, everything's expansion, right? We get bigger mentally and spiritually. We learn more. We go physically further. Maybe going up in frequency, right, is part of that growth. Like maybe we're always like going up the frequency scale and the whole, you know, billy goat thing, stop them. And that's why there's such a division being caused now, because we're still going up at the same rate, and they've just stopped. Because it's not just a theory, right? You just the it's not that you can't talk to these people because they're bad or anything. It's just that the level in frequency is just too big. You just literally can't converse with them.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
true. It's true. We're definitely seeing evidence of a frequency split.
Mm.
100%.
Well,
100%.
mm. So it's interesting. So time clearly, is not what we've been told, right? All
Oh, fucking
these
time.
timelines things, and
Oh, time.
yes, yeah, and this is the thing. I was having a look the other day. We're in the year 2025 in Israel. It is 5,200 or something. In the Islamic world, it's the 1400s, and in the Slavic calendar, it's 7,600. So what the hell is time? Why do we have a calendar that starts in the middle? Like that's dumb, right? Plus, they've changed the calendar so many times, and we used to have a 360-day calendar. Like, how is that possible if we're spinning through space on a ball? How did that orbit and that change by 5 days? Like
Yeah.
that's right. That would change everything. So, time. What is time? The Prague clock. What is
I
the
mean,
Prague
it's just
clock?
like, when we're out in the bush and you spend like 2 weeks just out there doing stuff outside all day and all night, your time changes because you're not on the devices and you're not getting any input, and your input is natural. It's, like the sun goes down, it gets cold, kind of what time it is, the sun comes up, it's, like it's a natural clock. But our
Hmm.
societies have been maneuvered into a
The
non-natural world,
work
as we
clock.
know.
Hmm.
And I guess for all the people in the world who are moving towards being back in nature, out in communities or on land, on country, on country, wherever that is for you. Yeah, they're starting to wire their organic time back together because it's really fucked us. It's really, and it's still messing with us because for
Hmm.
us, time is speeding up because the
Yeah.
frequency is speeding up. Our frequency is speeding up. Therefore, our perceptions are speeding up. Therefore, the perception of time is speeding up. And the only way that can balance that out is if we stop putting, like, governing our life by that clock. So at some point in
Hmm.
our future, we're going to have to not gauge the clock in that way because it will feel like it's like, it's going to feel super speedy. I mean, there
Yeah.
has to, yeah, we are bound by a lower frequency time lord.
Yeah, which is, yeah, the system, right? So quit your jobs, people. If you've got an idea, start working on them, and this is literally, seriously, this is what we need to do. Everyone out there, especially in our community, has all these skills, and wisdoms that are needed, right, to build this new world we keep talking about. So, it's time to start that business. It's time
I,
to
you know,
be an artist. It's time to do whatever, right? Write the book, whatever it is, do it.
Yeah, it's well, and even more significant than that, like it's actually creativity that is the counterforce to negativity, just so you know.
Yeah, and to the whole electronic grid, right? The whole
Yeah,
AI thing, right? It's, creativity is the antidote.
it is. It's the antidote. Yeah. So
Mm.
I mean, I had it, I've been watching something. We've been trying to get a clock, an analog clock in our kitchen, just with a battery in the back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. I've ordered like three now in a row and they've lasted like 3 weeks each. And I'm starting to think, like, for no reason, like, nothing happens to them, nothing breaks. I changed the battery, it just stopped working out. I'm thinking, do these clock even function anymore? Can they even keep up? Are they actually not able to do what they're meant to do? I don't know how much of the universal force has to move with these clocks. I don't know, but I've just observed. I'm just saying, it's just observed it
Interesting.
that I can't seem to keep a battery operated clock in action.
Yeah. Just a metaphor for life, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or maybe
yeah.
they just want everyone on digital so they can't tell the time. Maybe people are starting to work out that the clock on the wall is actually the same as the clock in the sky, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's interesting the
Hmm.
time disparities. I mean, how easy and quick is it for, like, say fucking Apple to like add a second or add a minute or subtract 3 minutes or sneakily change
Yeah.
half an hour.
Yeah, that's something that we still haven't done. That it would be great to find an old clock, right? An old wind-up clock, preferably from like the 70s or 60s, and put a modern clock next to it and time it and see if they have the same time. If
Yeah.
one's faster, that'd be. So if anyone's got an old clock out there, um, please do the experiment. Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fascinating stuff, the old time muncher, the old time
Yeah.
cruncher. And we're really in an interesting experience right now to observe it, man.
Yeah, and they seem to be telling us like there's so many time travel movies, right? And Doctor Who, of course, and Stargate and Sliders, all these TV series. The whole time thing. It started with Jules Verne, right? The Time Machine, way back, basically just after the reset, 1800s.
Which was
So,
quite extraordinary, actually, because if we're to believe the stories of mainstream, like that was a very strong Christian paradigm going on in that timeline, and they do not believe in past lives or reincarnation. They are one life only religion, one chance religion.
one
You're in or
chance.
you're out. You succeed or fail. You're. It's a one chance religion. They do not
Yeah,
advocate for past lives at or zero. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So it's
That's
just interesting that
that's
the
funny. I was
science.
just thinking, it's like going to school, right? And if you barrack for the wrong footy team, well, you just never, sorry. That's
That's it.
it. You
You're
never
out.
ever graduate. No, you're out. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what it is. But sorry, what were you saying?
No, no, I don't know what I was saying. I think
I
I was
don't know.
talking about time.
Time travel and how Christians don't believe in, yeah,
Well,
past
back
lives.
in that paradigm of those science fiction authors that brought out the concepts of it, it definitely wasn't
That's
part
it,
of
yeah.
the concentration. Now, hey,
It's
did you see
true.
that clip? Did you see that cool clip to this week about the I just thought it was like there's some weird. All right. Okay, premise. We know that there's about a million pieces of weird shit going on this realm right now. We know that the whole world is like participating in a completely crazy play right now. You guys already know this, you know what's going on. Like we can talk about it as commentary, but really we all know, right? We know. So I have been more interested in some of the weirdest stuff that has come out in the last couple of, I've been like, did you see the clip about the shark eggs?
The shark, what?
Eggs, the shark eggs.
Eggs?
Yeah, eggs.
No, don't think so.
Yeah, all right. So they've done this. So gathered around a volcano in the ocean,
Oh,
and
yeah, that one. Are they supposed to
yeah,
be shark eggs?
yes,
Oh,
they have
okay. Keep
discovered
going.
they either they or they have discovered apparently 2.5 million eggs that are gestating at the base of this underwater volcano. And they are saying that they're shark eggs.
Yes.
And even if
Shark, I
they are
never knew that they were
correct,
shark eggs. Okay.
even if they were shark eggs, that's pretty insane concept, don't you think?
2.6
2.5
million, and they're
million.
supposed to be, quite large, I think, like football sort of size.
Yep.
Yeah. And there was a story going around in a photo, it looked pretty AI, but that there was some massive shark beached itself in Australia
Oh, I didn't see
in the
that.
last
How
week.
fascinating. Oh,
And
really?
then there was another one where someone caught on the news, you know how they do all the small print stories, like running by,
Yeah.
like the headlines, and it said hammerhead shark falls from sky. So a bit of a sharky theme there.
Yeah, okay. Three shark omens. What does that all mean? Watch the waters.
Oh, and well, do you know actually something else? Yeah, that did just happen is Jaws turned 25. No, 50. 50? 50. It'd be 50, wouldn't it? 75.
Right. That
Yes.
this week, Jaws
Yeah,
turned
yes.
this
Yeah.
week. Oh, four shark omens. Whoa, what's it all mean,
What
Campbell?
does it
And
mean?
you know what? I listened to a prediction-y thing the other day in the car, and they the two weird things. One was that in the next 6 months, Australia would experience a massive environmental disaster, um, which I think we're probably all assuming it's floods, but who knows? But the second weird thing they said is that something terrible happens to the koalas. And I thought, what could
What?
that be about? Yeah, it was actually, and it was really random because it's an American channel and it wasn't like they ever talk about Australia. And Australia never features usually ever anywhere. But yeah, the two things on Australia, and one was about the koala bears. So I don't know what that means. And I don't know how it relates to sharks, but I guess there's a lot of weird things happening with animals. Of course, they're part of the omen signs. And actually, there was another scene of animals just sporadically dying in one of the clips I watched in the last week,
Yeah,
just
well,
around the world. Yeah.
in southern US, like in the south in the USA, like all these pelicans fell out of the sky dead.
Yeah, right.
Did you see
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that they say it was from a lightning strike because, lightning strikes in the air.
Well, what do
But
you
yeah,
think?
well, the
Like,
people said that they saw a blue flash. Um, what do I think it was? I mean, it's a bit weird. They're big birds.
I mean, as in, what do you think is causing it? Like, could the animals themselves be also undergoing a frequency situation? Because they could they also be undergoing like I wonder what this reality is for them right now. I mean, obviously they are frequency specific if you believe they're organic. Many people believe the
Oh,
animals are just part of the mainframe.
okay, yeah, the simulation.
Yeah, but I mean, how could you think that if you've, you know,
If you've
been
looked in
around
the
them or
eye of a cow,
communicating them?
yes.
Yeah. Um, no, but yeah, interestingly, like they must be experiencing this also because they're part of this realm and they're a vibrational ex they're having a vibrational experience in this realm. So, are the animals of this realm, going through what we're going through, or
Yeah,
are they going through what the others are going through?
they'd definitely be seeing it because most of them have a wider range of perception than us, right? They can see through different, a lot more range of vision, like X-ray and night vision and all this kind of stuff. A lot of them navigate with the magnetics, right, which are
Yeah.
all playing havoc. So yeah, you'd think they'd be feeling it. I mean, I don't know if there's. I mean, we've definitely seen a lot of weird animal clips coming out in the last couple of years, haven't we? Remember when they were all walking in circles?
Yeah.
Remember
Mm.
that one? And then there's been lots of weird die-offs, and yeah, I mean, if it's a world thing, right? The world's changing, then I guess everything in it, right? Because we've also seen a lot of destruction to the forests, right? We've seen plants going crazy, obviously with the weather, right? But like, flowering in the wrong months and seasons, and so it's pretty confusing for everything at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I would recommend that everyone who has animals in their lives, like use that animal as like a channel that you can whisper your most loving thoughts into their ears to be a beacon out there on the animal internet. I think that, I think us loving them up and doing all the things. As well, as you know, Cam, last week we lost Sherlock Holmes,
We did.
and it was a really unexpected event, but that beautiful German Shepherd has passed from a tick bite of all things, and very hard to find, embedded deep inside his hairy body, and it all happened very quickly. And yeah, so we have had to experience the passing of our excellent fucking German Shepherd,
Mm,
trooper, rogue, lovable chap, the big friendly giant.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you've got a natural affiliation for the mammalians of this world, then right now they could probably, do with some of your affirming, energetic, focus. As in, I would be whispering into Sherlock's ear right now for on behalf of all dogs of the world. Please send this message to all dogs of the world: how loved you are, how appreciated you are, how we acknowledge the true counselors of this realm definitely lie in the hands of our animals. I mean, not just dogs, all of them, except I say all of the mammalians and the birds.
those are millions. Yes,
You
mate.
can't connect with reptiles.
No,
They're not emotionally charged on the same level. Yeah.
no,
Or
it is
spiders.
true. Spiders, no. Crayfish, no, doesn't work.
Ramtha always said that when we go through this shift and we move into a new version of this paradigm, that the venomous creatures of the world will not be coming. They would have to make a choice to give up their venom to come or not. That they don't fit in a higher frequency realm, which makes
Good.
sense, right?
And all the bloody parasites.
Oh, how's that? So yeah, of course, here we are in this really low, dense realm. Like really, it's been big effort on their behalf, and we are covered in parasites. We thrive on low frequency energy, right? All these parasites in our body and our animals, in our environment. Fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so let's get this frequency rising. Gosh, this was supposed to be a happy show.
Well, I mean, I think, I'm definitely very close to purchasing some frequency sound machines. I'm really,
Mm,
and look, put it on the channel, but I just feel like that's a smart thing.
yeah.
If you have any wobbles, either mentally, emotionally, or physically over the next 50 years, I reckon that would be the appropriate um, medicine, because we're
Mm.
now really understanding that we truly are shifting in
Hmm.
frequency right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've been looking into the spooky twos, and
Yeah.
there's another few around.
And
Obviously,
I,
that's the lower end. You can spend up to, over 10,000 if you want to. But if you know of any good machines, leave it in the comments. Or if you've had experience with any machines, let us know how it went.
Yeah, because like I don't have a stable emotional landscape. To be honest, like I oscillate. I go from feeling very supercharged and very full of ideas and creativity down to feeling, a bit like hopeless and purposeless, and I feel like I'm not contributing. And so there's like, that sort of oscillation is something that I think at the end of the day will get more intense for all of us, really. And yeah, sound frequency definitely seems to be
Yeah, man,
the
it's the power
stable
of
of the
the old
future.
world, right? Tartaria, man, frequency. Get into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean,
Technology.
we've been going through this show, and yeah, it's become very clear to us, very clear how frequencies have been working through this realm since the invasion, how they've used frequencies, not just the fucking programming, mind control,
No,
media frequencies, but frequencies.
weapons,
Those,
man.
yeah, it's definitely weaponized, definitely. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, which we've seen, and all the bells taken out and the organs and all this kind of stuff, and that's the thing. They understand that everything's frequency, which is sound, right? Sound's just
Yeah.
frequency. And
And you
so,
never, and we never really thought about it back then, but across the world at one time or another, they switched everyone's TVs from analog to digital.
analog.
Was that right?
Yeah,
Analog to digital.
yeah.
And there was a whole realm of beings that reported immediately that they could hear from this switch over from analog to digital, a whole new array of sound. Super sensitive individuals who are sensitive to that, they could actually hear a shift, and they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it. So with that shift from analog to digital, there was a shift in the subliminal sound frequencies coming out of those, and obviously TVs and all the things we have now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Just
mean, from the
because
start with radio, like everyone started getting sick. I think, don't they link that to like the Spanish flu or something? Basically,
yes,
yeah, they had to, yeah, take it back and alter it a bit and re-enter it slowly. But that's just the proof that they have changed, literally changed our frequency.
yep,
Because
that's
now
right.
we're like so many iterations
Yep.
past that, but we're able to take it like because they've yeah got us used to all these frequencies that we shouldn't be used to.
And it's hard, because like it plays out not so much in like it plays out and you're just beating yourself up. That's for the most of us. That's how it plays out. It's
Mm,
not like we've minimalized our exposure. We've all done that. So really how it plays out is negative self-chatter,
mm.
which I definitely experience. Just to be honest and real, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And well, I mean, it's the whole mental health type thing, right? Which a lot of it is self-talk, self-esteem, blah 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 that you can't turn off. It's an epidemic proportions at the moment, right? Especially with young kids, and
Oh,
so
yes.
it's just affecting.
Ugh.
I know, right? Yeah, the self-esteem stuff that goes on with kids is crazy because of the online world as well. But because of the online world, it means they're taking in so much more frequency, these
Oh, I
distorted
know.
frequencies, and seeing people that aren't actually real, like all these, filters and stuff that goes on. It's crazy.
And literally, of course, the other side of that is that they've been now like guided into these containers, these isolated boxes.
Echo
Whereas,
chambers.
yeah,
Mm.
but also physically, because when we grew up, of
Oh
course, we
yeah,
were
yeah,
always in the
yeah, yeah.
gang, outside with the group. But what was happening to us vibrationally is that we were like our magnetic fields were interacting with each other, and we were getting regenerated, and we are getting charged by the physical contact we were having every day with friends and family.
Mm,
Whereas now the kids are they it's such a more isolated environment for them, so they're not getting the charge of actual magnetic energy from other humans as
it's true,
nowhere
man.
near as much.
The same with
So they're
adults,
getting
right? So
beaten up
finding
on
a
both ways.
child, come see us on the farm, September. Link below.
It's true. Like people are getting beaten up from both sides.
Mm,
Yep.
it's
Mm,
true. Like, and most people, don't get out. If you're in the city or in an apartment, you have to sometimes make an effort to get to be in nature, right? To even just walk around and breathe fresh
mm,
air and all this kind of stuff. So,
mm.
when you get a chance, take it.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
that's what they want. It's separation, right? And it's all boxes, right? Angles everywhere, right angles that are bad for energy flow, and that's why there's not many right angles, right? In the Tartarian inside the buildings, they're all rounded and nice.
Also, I've decided to make a public notice that I'm officially going to smoke all the way through our shows these days because Smoking is becoming so fucked up and marginalized in Australia. I cannot stand it. Like last week, I went to buy my organic tobacco, the Minitoo, which is the only one available to us in Australia. And it's not available. It's no, I can't buy it anywhere now. And the government in Australia is actually taking away, they're in the process right now of removing all of the color, like the blue, the Winnie blues, the golds, the reds, all of those into one now available packet. So all of those options are getting reduced. All of the flavors, the menthol, the ports, all of those are getting removed. And all the packaging is brown. And all the organic seems to have disappeared. And we can't fucking import it from anywhere else. It gets stopped at customs. We are being smoked out of Australia, man. Like we are being fucking like it's 1984 here. It's the tobacco wars. We're in the tobacco wars. And then all this like illegal or not illegal, fuck that word, but all of this alternative tobacco is
Mm.
available under the counter, like in the friggin' fucking
It's weird
pirate
in
days.
actual shops, man.
It's so
But,
weird, right?
but it's
But
all
you don't know
bad.
what's in it.
No, yeah, exactly. So
So
yeah,
I don't want it.
if you're a grower of those kind of plants, you might have
That's the
business in
only
the
other
future,
option.
right? If you can, yeah, do it organically.
One of the investments I would make as an investment group through this community would to farm organic tobacco. I would figure out how to do that because man, that's going to be the last option left to us. Soon you're going to be like able to buy one tobacco, one friggin' tobacco. It would definitely not be organic, and we won't have any options, and we won't be able to
Hmm.
bring it into the country or import it or go get it. We'll have to leave Australia. You know, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard of. Like, wow. We
Mm.
have gone into some weird tobacco wars here,
Mm.
Mr. Purvis.
It's crazy. It's created this massive big black market. Like there's been like raids, man, like ram raids into tobacco stores. Like when I was in Perth, someone ram raided the shop next door because there was so much security on the tobacco shop, and then they just smashed the sidewall down and went in and it's crazy. And it's also to do with the pricing, right? Like the tax on cigarettes is like unbelievable here, like literally
It's unbelievable.
hundreds of times more.
It's unbelievable.
It's like 1,000% more than other countries we've been to.
Yes, it's unfucking believable. To get one pouch of organic tobacco when I was anywhere else in the world, everywhere else I've been, I could get a box of 12. It was 80 Australian dollars. The equivalent here in Australia for that is something like $1,500. Like it is in fucking sane. It's insane. Like,
Mm,
and we have no recall. We can't do anything about it apart from grow our own,
no.
and we all give
Topher's
up.
been on the case at least. Topher's getting on them, but yeah, I mean, it's just all it's the same old story. They bloody introduce something or take over the market of something, and then they just slowly make it more expensive
It's
and take it away.
it's so extreme here. It's so extreme here.
I know, like that's yeah. When you come back into Australia, man, it feels like bloody communism. Like it's
Yep.
crazy.
And
It's
you can't
weird.
go through customs without like you can only have one packet on you. Just one
Mm.
packet. So if you're brave enough, like we're all brave enough to cover our bodies in it, packets shoved everywhere, like we'd get busted so bad if we got caught. But you know, like if you just you can get through, but fuck, man. Like, I can't believe we have to. Oh, well, I can believe it. Of course, I can believe it, but it's just so annoying. That one's fucking annoying. And anyway, smoke is becoming so marginalized that, you know, you just can't smoke anywhere anymore, and no one's comfortable to smoke anywhere. So, on behalf of all of you, I stand here to represent giving you full and utter support and permission to
There
smoke
you go.
while you're watching this, to smoke whenever. Like, there's
Smoke,
still people
yes.
out there who honestly do it, and it's honestly done. Chicken.
Yes, well, there you go. We're smoking free. Yes,
All
that's
right,
what
the
it's
other
all about. Freedom and choice, guys.
we got to
What's
grow
the other?
our own. This is the only way.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I found quirky this day this week, which I really didn't never thought about, Cam. I never thought about it, and I don't know if you guys have thought about it. Probably some of you have, but it was on the topic of graveyards, my friend.
Oh, yes,
Graveyards.
graveyards.
Ah, graveyards. Fascinating idea because basically
It's
it set up his premise, Campbell, that Wow, if you walk around the world, you will see graveyards, but they are full almost of graves from the 1800s and 1900s, 1900s predominantly. And they're all old, and you never see them expanding. And you never see churches expanding their territory because they're usually now in the middle of cities or whatever on the you never really you see new smallish areas with cremation maybe, but then if you look at how many people have died since the 1900s every year, Campbell, it's not adding up, my friend.
It's not adding up. No, they've worked out how many bodies you can put per acre, and then you can work out how many
Like
people have
1200 or
died.
something. It's like
Yeah, something like that,
1200.
about 1,200. And so you can work out how much land needs to be done every year, right? Because obviously you got stats, and obviously it's millions and millions of people. And yeah, it doesn't add up. Just like everything we look into in this world, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it really doesn't.
so where are they going? And there's a
What?
few options, I guess. I mean, one would be there's not as many people as they tell us, which would lead on to are they NPCs? Are they just holograms that just flicker out? Who knows? Anything's on the table at this point. Or is it more nefarious? There was that guy who was a gravedigger who came out. He was in the US, and he was saying that he was putting a grave in or something. They were lowering it, and they had to pull it out for something, and he picked it up, and it was really light. And then it went down this rabbit hole of there was no body in there, and all these other people come out and said, yeah, that lots of them don't have bodies, and blah blah blah. And so I guess that rabbit hole probably would get a bit nefarious if you went down
Oh,
it.
it's a fascinating one because
Weird
like
one.
I mean the video that I watched was talking about that in America, like even if you take away the percentage of people that choose cremation, which I think sucks by the way, I think that's a Baal practice. I think that's a fucking Baal practice. I don't think it's what is meant to happen. I feel like you need to be returned to the earth to bring your consciousness back into the earth. It's like and you continue to live. I just, yeah, the
Yeah, well, it
cremation
did
thing.
re-give life, I guess, too, right? But yeah, yeah, cremation is a bit fire, sacrifice, the god of fire,
Fire, yeah,
you
it's fucking
know?
fire sacrifice, man. And like, if I die, Cam, this is what I want to happen, right? I want you just to dig a hole and put me in it. Right? That's all what I want to happen. That's it. I don't want a box or any wrapping or any like stuff. I just want to be in the ground covered in soil. The whole idea of caskets is really unusual as well. And did you know that when we go back to say it, and again, this is the States, I don't know what it is in Australia. We should have researched this. Um, but in America, like if you put, they always used to
Yeah.
bury the bodies in the backyard of the family. Always was that way. But
Mm.
if you do, if but that puts your property into a specific, do you remember what it was? A specific
Is it like it's something to do with like hallowed ground? Yeah.
yes. And then from that moment on, you cannot be a, you can't your house can never be taken away. Your ground can never be taken away from you, not by the banks, by the mortgages, not by defaulting, not by any reason can it be taken off your family because it's hallowed ground.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the family plot, like we used to hear, like the family plot, right?
yeah.
And they'd all be buried with just, yeah, the family, right? Now everyone, it's a bit like the blood and the beef, right? Everyone's just put in together, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know let us know if you know the Australian law, but I mean, that's a good way, especially from the US, right? Just wait for someone, don't, but
Yeah,
if
so
someone dies, yeah, bury them in your backyard.
So I'm sure there's a law that tells you can't do that now, but in so yeah, they were saying they took all the cremations out of it statistically, then they were conservative in their estimates, but based on the the information that's
And,
gets
and I
given on the
believe that
statistics.
it was 33 and 66%, wasn't
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Of
it?
course. But it still ended up that in the States, basically annually, 130 million people need burying. And in the States, they allocate a certain percentage of land, and there's an amount of bodies per land. And when you add all that up, there's a massive shortfall, like literally 100 million people a year
A year.
shortfall,
Yeah.
and then go back through till the 1900s, like
Hmm.
yearly. So and then repeat that in all countries, Australia, you know, the UK, which I've traveled in so much, and you really don't see like the equivalent of cemeteries and graveyards equal to the amount of people who must have passed in the last 100 years.
Yeah.
And so it really, now that we've mentioned it, do take note of it. Go for a walk
Yeah. Have you ever
in,
seen a new cemetery go up?
yeah,
Walk through a cemetery, they're new plots. And this has all got, to do with the population, right? And people disappearing at all. I don't know. This world that we believe that we lived in is kind of falling apart, right? Everywhere we're looking now, it's just
yeah.
becoming more and more unreal.
More and more unreal. And how interesting are the concept of graves to begin with? Like, if we really look at it, like, as because it's almost like it's just been painted in as a background set. Like, because if you go to the churches and you go to the graveyards, you're going to see these fallen, broken down, really aged, like tombstones and cracked. And you think, wow, this graveyard is now like prime real estate, but they can never do anything with it because like they can't put people on top of it, they can't like go up, they can't go out, they can't like, and so it stays there like a set, like a relic, like like to
Mm,
validate that we die, to remind us that that is inevitably what's going to happen to us, but it never changes. It doesn't
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
it's very stagnant and it's like very stuck and stiff, and at the most you might see a new little acre or something that has cremation tombstones on it, but certainly not to the numbers required for the population that's passed, apparently. So yeah, I mean it's interesting
True,
concept,
man.
Cam.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Yeah, have you got any more info on this? Because yeah, I've been to some old ones, and they're just these decrepit things that never change, right? It's just weird. But we've probably all seen those or been to those. But yeah, as far as new ones,
I
what's going
mean, the
on?
discrepancy in the US is insane,
Oh,
right? I
it's
mean, 100
ridiculous.
million,
Well,
like that's a
that's a
what
billion every decade.
what is that? Like that's an insane number. There's no maths that would work that out. There's no you can't
Like,
deny that
hmm,
that's a, so I mean all you can think is that it's all fake. That
yeah,
the numbers are fake
it's got to be. And
because that we believe the population statistics are fake, right? So then the
yeah, for
death
sure.
statistics have to validate the population statistics. So it's
Mm,
all fake, all those numbers. So that's a trip
it's
of
made
an
up. Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
You can literally go and see the fakeness of it by actually analyzing this graveyard concept
Mm,
question, little mini rabbit hole.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, just more evidence, right? That the people aren't there. It's not there. Like it's which we've seen all over the place. Anyone who's traveled would have seen this. There's not people everywhere. It's I don't know how many, a billion, maybe two. Who knows? Definitely not 8 billion. Because they say that the population of the world doubled, I think, from 1850 to 1950, I think it was. But it was statistically impossible.
And
But
it is, isn't it interesting, Cap? Like that fucking wherever we look through the Tartarian lens, always we get to the question is where are all the bodies? Whenever we look through history, the question is fucking
yeah,
same. Where are all the bodies? You know, like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually quite mad if you think about all the wars and all the resets and all the cultures and stuff and all the mythical beings that we think were genetically modified during those times, and like where are all the bodies? Where are all the skeletons? Where are all the giant skeletons? But like what happens to the bodies? I just think it's followed us through this trail for
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, it
decades,
has.
that
What's
question.
going on? Maybe we are just energy. And when we die, we just disappear in a puff of light.
I mean, I know people. I have passed my grandparents and
Mm.
my friend last year. Like I have been through the whole process several times this lifetime, and all of them chose cremation. So I don't know what it would mean to not have chosen cremation, and maybe that's just been going on forever. Maybe I just don't know, Cam. It's a bizarre
It's a
concept,
bizarre
and
one, yeah. Well, we should probably get into that one a bit more. I think we could sort of do a bit more of a deep dive on, the proper with everything that we now know, right? Like it's all pointing to the fact that there's just not the people, then there never has been.
I know
And you kind of broke the story, right? When you went to China, like we're told, the most populous country in the world, and it's empty.
it's
And now
empty,
it's coming
man.
out earlier this year.
Yeah,
It came out with big
yeah.
time that it's empty.
It's empty. And
So,
like when do you ever hear of like a new house going up and they're digging up the ground and they come across bodies? Like where did all the bodies go in the middle in the dark ages or in any of the last and where have all the bodies gone? All those civilizations that apparently came and went, the Vikings, the Romans, the Greeks, the fucking Phoenicians, all of those civilizations, all the Canaanites and all the civilizations and all the marvelous cities and all the cities that are on all those maps that we look at, like where did they get buried and why don't we come across it? Why don't when we're excavating land to put up new buildings, which we've done infinitely, like do we not hear stories of people digging up bodies? Like,
mm.
how deep are they? How, I mean, like, how, where, it's just what?
I know it's weird, right? Like the only other place you'd get that, a world filled with old world buildings and this big history and everything, and but no bodies is a video game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it wasn't written
Ooh,
in.
that's very fucking observant, Cam. Absolutely. Yes, that is true. Like, you would only find that in a video game. They would not write that in.
They
That's
wouldn't
not a
write it
detail
in.
necessary.
Exactly.
Ooh, do 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 do.
Oh,
I
where are
mean,
we? Oh, just
yeah.
the game of life.
So, well, yeah, I mean, of course, and like one has to say, where did China go? Where's the Chinese people gone from China? Like,
Mm.
and China's not the only place. It's not the only place, and all these wars that we've watched and all the trauma from like, gosh, I mean, just if you summed
Well,
up
I mean,
World War One and Two,
it's
there's
like
like what hundreds of
Palestine.
million.
Like they've been throwing, rockets at Palestine for decades, right?
Yeah,
I always just wonder how there's anything left.
yeah,
Because you see the total devastation after, when we see
yeah.
pictures, it's like, how can there be anything left there? It's
That's
the same
true.
thing, right? It's like this story that doesn't
Like a
ever really
set.
change. Like I said, right? Yeah, it doesn't ever
Yeah,
really, it's just
that's
always
true.
this war-torn, desolate kind of country. But I mean, it should be getting worse, right? Because they're not,
That's
it's just
true.
one of those weird things.
That is true.
Like,
And
so
if you,
it's all a set, maybe, right? They
yeah.
tell us all the world is
And
a stage.
honestly, like, if you go through those videos that we've suggested, like you'll see that the numbers in those time periods, which were very close together, there were hundreds of millions, man, like hundreds of millions. Like this is not just a small scale event. This was not capable of being I
Mm,
mean, the numbers that present, and again, we don't know if that's true. Who goes those numbers? Where do they come from when they go to these wars and then give us a statistic that there was 200 million people killed? Like, who, what? No one counted that. Where does that come from? Like, it's just like no country was amalgamated enough to come up with a final statistic. Every country involved all had their own take. It's like, I just wonder where that information comes from. But just if it's true, then we have very little evidence of that amount of mass genocide being under our ground,
mm,
literally under
yeah.
our ground. And what if the
Mm.
ground eats us?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't explain, yeah, the cemeteries today. But I mean, it could explain, and ultimately, I guess it does. But don't they say that bones always remain? That's why we're always finding bones. Everything breaks down, but your skeleton, I guess,
Well,
eventually.
that's what we've been taught.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we've
the
been
bones
taught.
should be less.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
But
know.
but it
Maybe
doesn't
the body.
explain, yeah, today's, quandaries, right? With the cemeteries and all this kind of stuff and people disappearing and not enough people being there. It's or is it all us rising in vibration, like going up in timelines? But and so where we are, China used to have people. How does it work? Um, well, there's no people there, but we remember people there, don't we? So
It's interesting because
it's
what I can sort of theorize here
twisting my
is
brain.
that we don't really have evidence of the organic beings dying much. Like actually, if we really look at it, like the numbers are all fucked and inflated, and whatever they want to tell us, the Earth itself is pretty good and thriving and very much healthy and happy. Like I don't very often see landscapes that aren't, and I have, but no, they're not common. Everywhere I fly and go, it's green. It's pretty thriving. The so like. nature is not dying. And the animals, like I don't see, I physically with my own eyes don't see mass death of animals. I have never. And the drought maybe a bit, the floods maybe a bit, but like as far as the animal kingdom goes, it seems pretty thriving. And like yes, we've
It's a
all
good
we've
point.
all
Like you
had
don't see
grandparents.
dead birds, really that much, but you would think that there would have to be lots and lots and lots of them. Like there's birds
Yeah, because
everywhere.
they
They
have
would have
a
to be.
short lifespan, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's animals
exactly.
are meant to have short lifespans. We don't
Yeah,
often
yeah.
see
So they should be
the
dying all the time, and at least you'd at least see a couple, you would think. But if you see a dead bird, it's like, whoa, what
It's
the hell?
unusual.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so true,
unusual.
And like, we live in nature, so we should see more of this. And then, the graveyards don't reflect the amount of people that have passed. And yes, we know people in our lives that have passed, but it's not it's not very big. It's not hundreds of millions
Hmm.
that make up all of these concepts. And as Cam said,
Hmm.
like the Middle East is pretty harrowed. It's like a harrowed set that never changes. And there's always groups of people in all the pictures and news, but like, is it even possible? It's like living in the middle of the desert in America. I mean,
Yeah, and
is it
the other
possible?
thing is,
Like,
where does all the food come from?
yeah, exactly. And the water, and like
The
there's
water, yeah,
nothing growing.
exactly.
So what chains, there's total fucked and war torn, but there's chains of food going in, there's distribution, is there? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, how much evidence do we really have of
Exactly. And even if there is now, because people say, oh, they get their food from other places. Well, they didn't 100 years ago, probably didn't even
mm.
50 years ago, right? So how did they grow up into these, the most ancient, we're told, civilizations in the world?
And when do you like come across a Roman soldier in his death outfit, all geared up with his swords? And most likely a lot of these people through these time eras were buried with their things on. You don't come across those stories. You don't come across people finding those bodies.
No,
Like
well,
basically, we do not find the bodies from history.
no, like that. I mean, every battle that ever happened, there should be
Yes,
mass graves
apparently there's
for them.
many.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Oh
Like
my
constant,
God.
constant. There should be all these, you know, they'd go take away and bury their dead, right? And you would
Because
think
it
that'd be more a mass grave sort of thing. So that would be like a thing where you dug in, they'd be everywhere, right? You'd be finding thousands. But I mean, in Europe, right, with the world wars, man, it should be they'd be everywhere, right?
Yep, everywhere.
Like, what are they
Yep.
doing with all these bodies? So
So
it's
imagine that.
an
Imagine if
interesting
death
question.
death
Yeah.
had been basically given to us as a concept, and magnified so greatly, just magnified by this concept that what is true in our history, which we can't validate, but like that actually magnified the wars, the death, the rape, the torture, the brutality, the inquisitions, the plagues, the all the stuff that we get bumped, the war that through history, like
Mm,
that we're very aware of our vulnerability. We're very aware of our lifespans. And then, all of the cornflake ads and all of the health products that we've got 100 years, if we're lucky, 80 years. If we're, like, there's this bombardment of death concept, of death programming. It's a death program, right?
mm.
But if
Yeah,
we
yeah,
like,
it is. It,
yeah,
it is.
really,
It is. Yeah, it's a big program, right? And then there's the whole death thing, right? It's still a big debate. What happens after, heaven or hell? Who's right? Because that's ultimately what a lot of religion's about, right? What happens
is
after you
that,
die, right?
and plus religion wouldn't even exist without the concept of death.
No,
And
that's
like
the
the
point.
the shamanic, the light version of death on country is not death. It's like, it's there's a correct burial passage into the organic template.
Mm.
It's like that. It's not a death and dying scene. So it was revered, is what I'm saying. It was a passage. It was there was reverence. So it wasn't feared or misunderstood, just like birth was referenced, the way that we've been contorted on the topic now, to our detriment so much because we are aging as a result of the programming.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's all, yeah. Yeah, age, right? Time, chronos.
And we don't even believe in time. We know how fucked up time's been.
So how do we age?
Like,
Like, this is the thing, the whole birthdays concept, right? Like, the more you focus on them, the faster you age, right? Because you're focusing on yourself getting older. So
but death programming, man, like it could have
it
gone
is.
way past what we'd actually imagined, like way past,
Well,
the
it's
pandemics, way
a,
past all that.
it's a death cult, right? Like, look at the maritime law, right? They literally say we're dead, right? And then all the priests and the judges wear black, just like necromancy
Yeah, I mean, and plus, let's think about it. Those cathedrals and churches, they were never intended as burial grounds. Those cathedrals and churches were all intended
the
as
opposite, yeah.
resonance machines,
Health
as
machines to give life and to give,
so
like
isn't it
health.
interesting that they decided to systematically all around the world bury people ritualistically all around those power sources, those grids. They literally, have you ever thought about that? They've literally
No, no.
covered,
So who are
me
those
neither.
people? Like now I'm thinking that they were probably sacrificial things, right? Like rituals.
But I mean, to put death alongside
Yeah,
what was
a
life
life machine, yeah.
and also the power grid, they were the power, that was part of the power grid. Then to surround that in death and decay and dying bodies, like ritualistically, that's fucking black magic right there.
Necromancy,
I've
mate.
never
Yeah.
thought of that.
No, it's full on necromancy. And they do it now, right? Where they put abattoirs on ley lines and things like this. It's to infect, yeah, the whole death. Like it's death, 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 right? Death cult. But I mean, but the other thing is, most of it's just programming, right? Like, but I mean, maybe we die because we believe it's inevitable. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a VR mask. Maybe it's all some weird game that we agreed to play. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I just think it's interesting that no one's talked about that before. They've literally surrounded the power sources with burials, with dead burials. All the churches and cathedrals have this sort of concept going around
Yeah,
them, really.
all very old ones. Yeah, that have been there since the takeover, right? The invasion.
And then all the wars, classically, not so much today, are always fought out in a battlefield, in a field, like basically pouring blood and torture into the ground, like another black ritual magic, like literally shedding blood and torture,
Mm,
feeding something in the ground. And then today we've got this AI military war thing going on where it's just like a button and then it's then done, and it's just like, but it explodes things in fire. It's an fire explosion. It's like people aren't bleeding on the street. They're like exploded. It's like fire. It's Baal. It's Baal fire.
mm. It's all, yeah, man. It's all ritual. Like I think it's all religions, right? I think that's what these different powers are, or at least the lead power. Like it's all their God. Who are they serving? That's what it comes down to in the end, really.
Mm.
Who are they serving?
To the point where, even like to the point people have talked about the plasma reanimating dead people, like turning them to zombies. Like,
From the
which would kind of
apocalypse.
make, yeah. So I mean, like, if you add an original power source to dead bodies and
Oh,
shift the
wow.
plasma,
Okay. Yeah,
could
right.
maybe it can animate the dead,
It connects to a big
literally
machine.
where they're located.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Interesting. That could be, yeah, yeah.
And like, to be fair, everyone, you fucking have no idea what happens when someone's cremated. You don't know if that body's like, unless you've stood there and you've watched, like, and actually have, you could be getting back ash from anything, and those bodies could have been used in any way.
Hmm.
Same with like, it's, yeah. So I'm just saying, like, there's a very this brutal, low frequency, ritualized death magic that goes on
Hmm.
in this realm.
Yeah, that's a good
So
point. Like you don't know, right?
so
Don't
for
know.
us, we like the returning to nature, the moving back into country, the getting yourself in and around the natural environment and to pass in that manner within a community is like a proper way of doing things, right? It's like proper way. That's like, and our communities are doing that all around the world. Healers and energy workers and truthers and all the people who are creators are all doing that. They're all moving naturally into it. Like there's like a magnetic field that's pulling us all in the same sort of version of things. Like, and part of that is that we are removing ourselves from their version of death and burials. Like, there's no way I would get buried through any religion or any church. No fucking way. Like, I would never do that. Never would do that. The
No,
same
we
as I would never get married that way. No fucking way.
mm,
Like, would I ever?
under their
So,
guide.
yeah. So for me, I think we as a community, individually all around the world, are enacting a new node for the death process. We are reimagining and reenacting the new way of death. I think pretty much all of us would agree that they want to pass in the ground, in country. I think that like the definitions around what it would look like for us passing in these times, I think we're all starting to generate a new, back to
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from the black magic, away from the black magic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wonder when they even started burying people first, right? Like it's probably part of the whole, overlay spell casting, the they, right, are doing, right? Like, because it's all to do with death and all this kind of stuff
Yeah,
and putting in
yeah,
your face and being sad, right? Like being sad, a lot of tribal people that they're not sad when people die, right? They see it as a passing. It's like a celebration. So
yeah.
that whole like sad and it's such a bad thing and misery and you wear black and that's all part of the construct as well. Like our whole perception of death and that and ultimately that we die, you know, to never ever come back again. But, that's what they tell us.
I know, wearing black clothes. What a weird thing.
I mean, black
I've got
clothes. I
black
mean,
on. I've
why,
got black on.
why black?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because
It's
classically,
darkness.
black would sort of represent, something other than
Dark.
life. Yeah,
Dark.
dark,
And
something
everyone who
ritualistic,
comes
or
back from
mourning.
dying says that they saw the light,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So you would
Hmm.
think that white robes would be more fitting, but it's a
Yeah.
weird one, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure black colors we wear, which I do, would but definitely be blocking our resonance, would definitely have an impact. I would say I've never thought about that either, but that's
Well,
probably
color
true.
has a big impact for sure. It's a frequency.
I mean, the hippies and healers, classically very bright colors
Yeah,
in their clothing. They're
whites
famous
and
for it.
colors. Yeah,
Yeah, famous
and
for it.
Undertaker's in black, right?
Yeah,
Something to be said, man.
yeah, man.
Your tie-dye.
Well, shit, that was a weird and interesting show.
It
I
was
don't
quite
even
strange and meandering.
It did meander. So underneath this video, right, is a link that I'm going to leave, and it's going to be a song that I found that I want to gift you all. I love
Oh,
this song. I found it the other week when we started our volunteering, and I love it, and I just want to share it all with
oh,
everyone.
that song. Okay. Yes.
Just for fun, just
That's,
because actually I want to do this, Cam. Every week I want to dedicate a
oh,
new song link.
all right. Geez, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to dedicate mine as well, and we'll have a competition and see who can get
All right, yes, we'll both dedicate a song.
it.
You're getting a song link from Kelly and Campbell this week. Good. That's going to be how we end the show positively, my friend.
There you
Right
go.
there, we'll let the harmonics do it for us.
Yes, frequency. There you go. It's our gift to you.
And look, I know these topics are a bit grim, but yeah, I mean,
Don't be
sharks and
scared. Yeah, that's all. We've got
battle for Europa and
there's no one
death.
really here, and there's no bodies here.
Graveyards, missing
God.
bodies. No, like, this is a Halloween issue. The Halloween
Yeah, yeah,
edition.
Halloween. This is Halloween day, which we're early. But I mean, yeah, that's the thing. We all know that we're here to change it, right? So that's you got to know what your enemy is. You got to know the problem if you want to solve it. And it's all interesting, right? More rabbit holes. Where are the
Yeah.
people? Where are
And
the people?
and all the choices we naturally like are all kind of magnetically pulled towards, like how to die
Hmm,
correctly. That they are us, that is in my head, us rebuilding the timeline. That's our work. That's
actively.
our work. Like,
Hmm.
how do you want to be buried? How do you want to die this lifetime? That's a good question,
It is
you
a good
know?
question. Another one is how
So
do you want to live? What do you really
Exactly.
want to
What do you want to
do?
do for the next 50 years?
Yeah, do you want to stay where you are, doing the same thing, same place? Or do you want to go out to a farm for a weekend and meet amazing people in September 2025? Links below,
Mate, come on.
guys. Go to the
Yeah.
website, tartariaustralia.com. You'll find all the stuff there. Yeah, check out whatever you like. Get involved.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up because I'm getting hungry, Cam.
I know,
Time
me
for
too. I've only
dinner.
had breakfast,
Yeah.
man. I had like a piece of
Same,
toast
man.
like 8 hours
Yep.
ago or something.
Yep. Same. All right. And you know, Jim, Cam and I started the gym again this week, and my body's so sore right now.
Oh, you're a
Oh.
bit stiff. Hopefully not as
And
bad as last time.
oh. Anyway, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed all of those musings and ramblings, my friends, and I hope that you participate in some one of those offers and be counted and be seen, and it's all going to be a fucking good adventure. But
Yes,
the
and we
adventure's
hope to
up to
meet you
you.
soon in
Yep.
person,
Yep.
off
All
screen.
right. Excellent, Mr. Purvis.
All
Random
right.
Halloween edition. And
Yes. Early
lots of love,
Halloween.
lots of love. And we'll see you guys next week on Tartaria, Australia.
We will. Stay
The
awesome.
coolest Tartaria community in the fucking world, may I
The
just add, because
coolest.
we are doing shit that no one else is doing. So that's cool, man. We're leading
Yes.
the way. I love that.
Yes. Get involved. Stay awesome. We'll talk to you next week.
You're right. See you
Bye.
guys. Lots of love.